Hey, welcome to Men on Scandal. This is our weekly show where we review every episode of Scandal from a male perspective. This episode is called "Where's the Black Lady?" I don't know. You know, in Washington D.C. is Troy Johnson, and also in Washington D.C. is Mark Clark, and I am Tony Scott in St. Louis. And so I guess where it left off last week and where it picks up this week is Fitz is kind of being forced to declare war on West Angola.
Yeah.
But question is, why? What's the deal? Why is there a war there? I mean, why do they want him to declare war on West Angola?
Well, they is Andrew.
Yeah, but what's his beef with West Angola?
He doesn't have one. He picked I bet you he spun the globe around. Remember you used to spin the globe in school?
Yeah.
And it would land on Bangkok.
Oh, okay.
So you do a report on Thailand.
Right.
Andrew's trying to become president. And,
okay.
And this is one way for him to do it. He's trying to capitalize on the terrorist attack that, almost claimed his life, but it was all staged. A retaliation for the vice president nearly being killed kind of propels him into, the forefront, I guess, in his mind.
Okay.
Kind of like it's going on in our country.
So the vice president sends the Secret Service to help the president. And the way the Secret Service guy framed it when he was talking to Fitz was like, we're here for you. We're here. The office staff is here. We're all here. We're all going to help you. We're all going to watch you. Make sure that you're safe.
Yeah.
We'll be watching your every move and listening to everything you say for your protection.
Yeah. we're your support group.
Yeah. And I was like,
in other words, clink, clink, mom. Eye on you.
Man,
I don't know.
One of these.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's, I don't know if you can roll on fists like that, man. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. For the love of a woman, I don't know.
Right.
Fitz has his moments where he forgets about that. He just kind of gets his ego will not let you do that to him. But oh well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is probably his biggest challenge. Obviously, it's his biggest challenge ever. I mean, I kept thinking throughout this whole episode, where in the hell is Eli Pope?
Eli Pope is out.
Where is Eli Pope? I don't know. Where's Rowan? Where's Command?
Well,
What's the deal? I mean, we all know Command's more powerful than the president. Damn it, where's he at?
well, his feelings, feelings got hurt when
He's in his feelings, man.
Your daughter, he's in his feelings, man. Your daughter tried to take you out. He's like, well, damn.
He's up in him.
I don't know, man. Still, Melly tells Fitz that she slept with Andrew.
Yes.
And she says, because we have a partnership here. You're boning Olivia, and I'm doing my thing over here, but we're a partnership. We're one in front of everybody. We're one couple, but behind the scenes, we're doing our own thing, keeping the partnership in play.
That's
that
right.
kind of thing.
Let's just be honest. Andrew and I are bone bros.
Not bone bros. No.
You like that one?
I did. Fitz talks to Ian and says he wants proof of life concerning Olivia. He wants to know for sure that she's alive. So they have her do a video.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the video, she goes off script, man. And they say, we can't have that. We can't have that.
Right.
If Shauna doesn't allow you to go off script, what makes you think that we're going to let you go off script?
Right.
So get back on script. And then she says, in take two, in the middle of that, she says, I need a glass of water.
And a nice glass, too.
I was thinking, they got you held up in there, man. I mean, where'd they get a fine crystal like that, man?
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You got the bathroom of a New York bus station and a rock crystal tumbler. What the hell?
Nice. It was nice, too. Weighted. It was nice, man.
It was nice, man.
Lead, weighted, and I love, I'm a fan of that. I like a nice glass, man.
Yeah. Nice glass, yeah. Nice. And so I'm wondering, was she gonna like tap out Morse code, or was she, what was the deal on that? And we'll find out later what that was all about. Because I was like, who asked for a glass of water in the middle of a proof of life video?
And who gives somebody who's captive a glass of water?
She's very demanding. She's very demanding.
I mean, if it were you and me, we'd get splashed with a bucket. Shh, here. Now read the damn video.
Yeah, do this, quiet on the set. No, I mean, I don't know, man. But so we fast forward to Liz's house, man. Liz is putting her daughter to bed, and she says night night and closes the door and all. I think she kind of talks to her daughter kind of babyish for given the size of her daughter, but that's for another conversation.
Don't judge, Tony.
But
Nana, boo boo, nana, boo boo, nana.
Yeah, and her daughter's like 19.
I'm
What
16.
the hell? I got my own kid. Wait a minute.
Hey, Ma, leave those keys on the counter, okay? Because I'm going to drive to school tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? So she's closing the door, and Huck just snatches her out of the doorway.
Yes,
And
sir.
Huck's got that look.
Yes.
Where's Liv? Where's Liv? You gonna tell me where Liv is? You know? And
That's done, Tony.
he tells her that if you don't tell me, I'm gonna cut your daughter up.
Damn.
Which right there, if I'm Liz, I have a bowel movement right there in the hallway outside the door.
Yes,
I mean, he's got that crazy look on his face telling me I'm going to slice your child up if you don't tell me what I need to know. Liz says she doesn't know anything. You believe her?
Well, I think we find out later on.
Yeah, but at that moment, did you believe her though?
I think she wanted to be down with Andrew. I think her target perhaps was Fitz in some ways, trying to take him down. But I don't think she's a mastermind like this.
Yeah.
She pulled the Schultz. I know nothing.
Sergeant Schultz, man.
you went back to Sergeant's. You went pre-Brubaker, man.
Damn, Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes, man.
Wait a minute, Trey, you do it. Trey, you do it better than me.
I know nothing.
Portrayed by the well thought out actor of John Banner. Man. John Banner
okay.
Tony.
John Banner
Okay,
actually
Tony.
died on the same day he was born, years later and stuff. But he lived it to the day.
I did not know that. I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
So
Birthdays were the worst days.
For real.
Secret Service Tom is asking Fitz for a pardon. He submitted the paperwork that you normally submit, and Fitz says if he wants a pardon, he can ask me face to face. So he goes to visit Secret Service Tom, and Tom tells him, as you being a father, I'm sorry for what happened. But I'm sorry for what I did because sacrifices had to be made. He gave him the sacrifice had to be made speech, man. Which if I'm Fitz, I'm having him executed right there on the spot.
Yeah,
but
I thought he was gonna roll with. Man, I ain't trying to hear that itch. And apparently, Tom stole the command's old speeches too.
yeah, he got a copy of them.
He was ride or die with it though. It's like you're a great man, a great president, a great leader.
Yep.
We can sacrifice a child or two.
But I did this for you.
I did this for you, man.
He was like, this is the juice.
You didn't even know the damn kid's name last season.
You know what I'm saying? Fernando, what was his name? What was his name? What the hell? So Fitz asked Secret Service Tom, can he trust anybody in the Secret Service? Can somebody be his go-to person? Can somebody be his mold, his inside guy, his homeboy? And the Secret Service Tom says, no, man, ain't nobody there you can trust, man.
Hell
There's
no.
Nobody, but But when he said that though, when Fitz asked him that, I was wondering, okay, which way will Tom go on this? Because if he tells him no, then Fitz really has no reason to pardon him. You're no help to me. But if he tells him yes, there are people you can trust. Fitz says who? And Secret Service Tom can say, well, it's time. Let's deal, man. What you got? What you got, man? You gonna spare my life or what? What? You gonna pardon me? What? So,
it's a lot of thought going in there, Tony. I thought he was saying, is there a place I can go to talk?
Yeah.
And
Well,
Tom
they
was like,
got to that too.
Yeah.
But he asked him before that,
was there one person?
is there anybody in this building that really has my back? No. and I think Tom realizes that he's got nothing to lose because his die is cast anyway. He didn't have. He's already gone down. Even if he gave him some good information, it
was a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, but he did tell Fitz to go to Olivia's apartment, right, and talk to Jake or something.
Well, he said that's the safest place for him to be, not in the White House, but in Olivia's place.
Olivia's apartment.
Yes.
So he goes to Olivia's apartment, and Jake is there. And he tells Jake, you need to rescue Olivia because, the president doesn't have that skill set.
That's right.
He doesn't have that
I like how
set,
Jake stayed in the bedroom until Fitz came all the way in the house. Normally you hear some commotion at the front door. You kind of get up. Who is it? No, he was chilling in the bedroom. Like, hey, what's up, man? I was just clipping my toenails up in here.
Yeah, that's cool. You were clipping your toenails, but look, I need you to find Olivia so I can bone her in the shower. Yeah, so you take that, Mister.
Yeah,
and give me a bottle of Vitalis while you're looking for Olivia.
Yes.
Give me the pump action Vitalis.
For the shower, I like it. I like my Hawaii 5-0 waves in the shower.
That's right. Yes. Huck figures out the glass of water, man. He figures out there's a reflection in the water of the captor, one of the captors.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And only Huck can see that, man, because it's the bottom of this crystal tumbler glass that she's holding up, and he sees a reflection of somebody in a video. It's like, man, that's
good, man.
That's good stuff right there, man. Ian bets Olivia $1 that Fitz will declare war. $1, $1 U.S. American dollar.
Was Olivia? Was she topless at that point?
I think she had a towel on. She was taking a bath.
A hose bath.
Yes. A hose bath.
A hose bath, man.
I like the fact that Olivia didn't have a problem wiping those armpits talking to somebody. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. So I
Hey, man.
long she didn't hit the undercarriage, man. We're good.
The undercarriage. Olivia's thorough. She ain't gonna have no funky.
Yeah.
She's in a prison, so I think all bets are off. Like hey, I got the
Man.
I got the WYA. I don't care who's looking.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that in it. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Ian tells her that Fitz will declare war. History says so. Love says so. I say so. And then Olivia tries to flip the script, and she says, I can tell by everything that you're a puppet. You're nothing more than a puppet here. You're following orders. She's getting in his head, man. She's doing what Olivia Pope does.
Well, my thing is, don't have a shirt on before you start getting crazy. don't have the girl swinging when you start to get crazy. You never know how people will react.
Well, you could get you could hypnotize somebody, man.
Right.
She's a little too feisty at the wrong time to me sometimes. You gotta learn how to pace yourself, Olivia.
But I think at this point, I guess she figures I got nothing to lose.
Nothing.
I got nothing to lose here. And then we're back at the offices of the Olivia Pope and Associates. We're back at Gladiator Central, and it's Quinn, Jake, and Huck talking, and then this older black lady, Rose, walks in and says, "Where's the black lady?"
Yes.
It's like, where in the heck did that come from?
Right. There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. 227, ma'am, is down the street. It's wrong house.
Man, I wasn't like, what in the hell is that about?
Where's the black lady?
Yeah. So basically, that's pretty much it, and then she leaves for the fourth time. So
yes,
we move over to the vice president, who Fitz is in the situation room with his boys, the crew, the cabinet, man. And Fitz calls him out. He challenges the president in the situation room in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, we're feeling ourselves now.
What is going on?
What's going on here, right? And Cyrus has been left out of the loop this whole thing, man. He didn't know there was a coalition for West Angola. He wants to know, well, why is the president listening to the vice president? He should be listening to me. And so there's kind of like an ego thing there for a second with Cyrus. Cyrus's feelings are hurt because they're like, I'm the man, the vice president. Hell, that's a ceremonial job at best. Well, he doesn't get to sit in the room. He don't get to sit at the table. I'm sitting at the table. He's standing against the wall. Why are you listening to him?
Something ain't right, Red.
Something ain't right, Red. Yeah.
Cyrus broke out, what about me?
So we're back at Liz's house, man. And Liz is shutting down the house for the night, turning the lights off. She peeks in on the daughter.
Yes.
And there's Huck.
She cracked that door like, let me just check on my daughter. But she checked on her like you knew someone wasn't going to be right in there. Oh, damn.
Yes.
Huck, Huck apparently is back.
Come get your medicine.
And he's on the bed. And this time he brings the red toolbox.
Yeah, this crazy bag, man. You got that crazy bag.
And he brings the plastic.
Damn it.
The plastic sheet.
Woo.
And I was like, oh, and he may talk and threaten you, but when he brings the box, he don't bring the box unless he intends to open it.
Yeah.
And he did, as we'll find out later, you know. So the Melly wants to know what's going on. She wants to know with Fitz what's going on. It ain't me, the fact that I'm sleeping with Andrew. That ain't bothering. Something else is bothering you. What is it? What's going on? And then he gets close to her, like, you know, like a loving couple.
He's going in.
Was going in, but he whispers in her ear, in 24 hours, I'm going to kill Olivia Pope. And Melly's like, am I being punked?
Right.
What's going on? What's going on? And is that a marker in your pocket? What's going on?
Is that a scud in your pocket, or you?
What is going on? You about to kill Olivia Pope? What is it? Is this a new game?
What is that?
Is that what we're calling it tonight?
So Fitz begins the war. Fitz starts. He goes in on West Angola, and Ian tells Olivia, "Who's the puppet now? Who's your messiah now?
Who's your messiah now?"
Yeah,
So Fitz goes in the Oval Office, which, you know, Andrew is sitting behind the president's desk. Who does that? Who does that, man?
Like a boss.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, can you imagine President Obama walking in the Oval Office and Joe Biden is sitting there, lean back in the chair, man, lean back. You know? Can you imagine? No,
Joe,
no.
I think you lost your mind.
Yeah. You know, I just couldn't believe he, you know, but Andrew clearly is feeling himself, talking trash, knowing that since the war started, you know, it's just a matter of time before this is all mine.
He's not satisfied with this war being started. He's like, you know, you can send some sorties and drop a few missiles. That ain't a war. I don't believe you, Fitz.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going all in.
Right.
I'm not a fool.
Yeah.
I see Don living on the ground. We ain't doing nothing. Nothing.
Because Fitz says, all right, I declared war, let Olivia go. And he's like, nah, man, this going to take a couple years, man. This going to be a while. It's going to be a minute, man. You just don't start, you know, sending drones over and then all of a sudden, you know, it's on and I can let Olivia go. No. No.
This is why you can't go to war for your side piece. This is exactly why married guys pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? So Rose is back at the Olivia Pope and Associates office, man. And Rose says, you know, my friend lived next door to Olivia.
Is the black lady back?
Yeah, you know, skinny Florida Evans. Remember her from last week? and so she tells her that's her friend. And Olivia, you know, used to go and check on her. And, you know, her and the old lady apparently were very cool. So, you know, Huck and Jake and Quinn, they go over to the old lady's apartment. The old lady who got shot, the old lady who was put on top of Olivia Pope in the body bag last week.
Yes.
Yeah, that old lady.
Who was thinking,
Yeah, and they see the internet router, and so Huck uses the router to track some IP addresses, and now he tracks down actually who Ian is. So now it's on.
And Ian was invisible to all networks across all high tech secret networks. He was not around, but that one shot on that modem exposed him. Had pictures of him at a picnic. Him swimming. It was like, man, his boys.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. As a matter of fact, for the show, I was going to utilize this. I should have made my own, but come on, son. International kidnappers are going to come in and get on your Wi-Fi system. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And it was the old black lady system too. So you know,
right?
Yeah.
She had the whole shopping network. She only used it for a couple things.
The good thing is, if she had been alive, they did put Showtime and HBO on her account.
She got Showtime on demand, man.
Man.
Well,
that was so stupid. Come on.
Cyrus goes into the Oval Office to confront Fitz. He wants to know, why am I out of the loop? Why am I being left out of this? What's going on? I don't know anything that's going on. You're not talking to me like you should. I'm your senior advisor here. I'm the one. I'm your boy. I'm your go-to guy. What's wrong? And Fitz says, read the report, Cyrus. You know, Cyrus is like, I don't need to read the report. He says, man, read the report, man. He says, read the damn report.
Do what nobody else does in America when they're handed a report.
Yeah, read it.
Read it.
And as it turns out that he does, and we'll get into that in just a second, Olivia tells Ian that she wants beef stew and an orange creamsicle.
Everybody has a point when they don't want any more Chipotle.
Too much.
And then she wants to be shot. Then shoot me in the head because, you know, I ain't going out like a sucker.
Yeah. And I haven't had a white coat on in weeks. What am I to do?
No, see, I had to ask my wife, what's an orange creamsicle? Because I mean, you know,
come
you
on,
ever had a creamsicle?
Tony, are you kidding me?
I never had a creamsicle. No, but I mean, you know, we were poor, man.
Tony, the ice cream man came through. I know you had ice cream.
Yeah,
I had ice cream, but I never had a creamsicle. I didn't even know what a creamsicle was.
They had them on the ice cream truck.
But I don't, you know, I'm the kind of guy I'd get the ice cream.
You never got the orange push-up, man. What's wrong with you?
But you know what? To be honest, man, and I'm not exaggerating here, I don't remember ever getting anything from the ice cream truck.
Come on.
Other than a snow cone.
Oh, well, damn.
Because the snow cones were the cheapest. They were like 15 cents or less.
But the snow cone from Tony, your life is first of all. Getting a snow cone from the ice cream truck, there's something wrong with that, right?
Well, because we didn't. We were poor, man. Yeah. We didn't have that kind of. We didn't have that.
You couldn't get an extra dime because ice cream was 25 cents.
No.
Wow.
Tony, damn it! Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
So you learned about the orange sickle. Tell us what she told you the description was.
She said basically it's a popsicle that has like a cream filling in it,
like a vanilla ice cream in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
Would that have appealed to little Tony back in the day?
No.
I agree. I had to, but you have to have one to know you don't like it.
Oh, you don't like an orange sickle?
I'm not really a fan. No, I like a bomb pop.
Both you guys are dead to me. Okay? Yeah, I'm serious. If you guys did not get orange push-ups, then something is wrong with you.
I had them. I had enough of them to know that wasn't my favorite. The bomb pop. I like the popsicle more than the ice cream in the middle.
Well, Tony, Troy just confirmed that he is from the ghetto, and you, Tony, is from I don't know where the hell Tony's from. Tony first said he got ice cream from the ice cream man. Nobody gets ice cream from the ice cream man.
A snow cone.
A snow cone. Oh hell no! Those old. Like a piece of rock, a frozen piece of rock with some damn great flavor. No, Tony.
Yeah, well, I like the red. So,
Tony, I think it was in Galveston. Your ice cream man was suspect. That's what it sounds like. because the poorest people in the world get the ice cream man stuff.
No, we didn't have it like that.
In the hottest city in America. Yeah. Tony's ice cream delivery wasn't right. That's wrong.
Come on,
and Tony, your people always hustle up for some change. Don't even try it, Tony. Tony will wash your car. Tony will watch. One time, Troy, let me tell you something. Now, we know Tony is superstar Tony. So I'm in St. Louis. Tony's making six figures. We're doing something. You know, we never even saw Tony bust a sweat doing anything. So we're washing a car one time. Tony bust out some newspaper tricks with the car I'd never seen in my life. The car was spick and span, shining like it was brand new. I was like, oh my God, Tony is the stereotype. No matter how successful a Hispanic man is, he can wash the hell out of a car. So I don't believe you, Tony.
Tony hit the windows with the newspaper.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was like, huh?
Even Troy knows,
I know about that, man. I know.
That's your country bumpkin self who just didn't know.
I'm just saying, Tony, the way he did it, I was aware of it, but I never saw it work to perfection like that. This car was shining.
Man. And actually, truth be told, these Sunday inserts are actually better than the newspaper inserts.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I was believing him too.
So Huck is officially tracking Olivia with success. Liz goes to visit Melly, and she tells Melly she had nothing to do with Olivia being kidnapped. And then she shows Melly what Huck did to her back. Oh my goodness! I was like, damn. He was like, goodness.
She had on 2 shirts.
What she didn't realize when Huck opened that box and she thought she saw the case for the movie 12 Years a Slave. No, it wasn't a movie. It was the 12 Years a Slave torture kit. Oh, very few white people have had it done to them, but she got it done to her. Oh no, not the 12 Years a Slave. The roots. Oh, not the roots. Oh,
the roots. So.
However, Tony.
Yeah.
However,
yes.
I tell you, that is the strongest woman in America.
Right. That's true.
If she could walk into that office, sit down in a silk shirt, and have a conversation, and she leaned back to look, Melly,
like, a white silk shirt, off-white, Tony.
Yeah, you know? I was like, okay.
I mean, her back looked like Huck had cooked some fajitas on her back, man.
Well, and
it looked like you played 3 million games of Tic Tac on her back.
And everybody knows after that torture, you put that salt in the wound.
Oh,
put that
my goodness!
Wow,
man.
She actually, Troy, she had 2 of those moments after the pain and even before the pain when someone threatens to take your baby out. Mm-hmm. She was kind of in the middle. She wasn't as emotional as, you know what I mean? Like,
as one would think you should be.
When she came to see the vice president the next day, it would have been some problems because he kind of blew her off like, oh well.
Well, I think he's over her though.
Yeah,
because we find out that his kryptonite actually is Melly. Yeah. Melly is his Olivia Pope. Melly is what makes his heart go pitter patter.
And not heart.
Yeah. Melly goes to see Andrew, and he tells her it's going to be me, you, and the Oval. I'm about to be president.
Yeah.
And he's like, damn, what the world thinks. You're going to be my woman. You're going to be my first lady. You know?
Delusional.
Man. So Cyrus opens a report, and he sees the note from Fitz that they have Olivia. So now the president's actions, it all starts to make sense.
Why did the president keep that from him?
Because they told him that you can't trust. We're watching. Everybody's watching you, man. Everybody. So I think initially, he felt like it was him against the world. Like he could trust no one.
But what is that? But I don't understand. Even if they didn't, you don't trust them. What if you just said they got Olivia?
You know how he and Cyrus are, man. You know, they just go through those moments. I'm done with Cyrus.
You know? Yeah. So Ian shows Olivia the newspaper reporting on the casualties, the loss of life that's happened since the war's been declared on West Angola. And Olivia, this is when Olivia starts to work her Olivia Pope magic, and she tells Ian, do you want to be a babysitter or a boss?
Damn.
Are you a gladiator or are you a bitch?
Did anybody catch the Olivia Pope slave foot when she pushed the paper away? You can go back and rewind it if you missed the slave foot. She was like, the foot just picked the paper up and threw it across the room.
Oh man, that's wrong.
A slave foot.
That's wrong, man.
That's why you got them boots on all the time. That's slave foot.
Oh man. So Cyrus goes to visit Fitz on the balcony of the White House. You know, I've never seen presidents hang out on that balcony as much as I see Fitz out there, man.
It's a lot, man.
You know, if that were the case, then they'd be able to see these drones flying over the damn White House.
and then
guys, we got another one.
And then Melly comes out there. So it's the 3 of them out there, and Melly goes up to Fitz, and she tells Fitz, I took care of everything. Melly must have the banger, man. I took care of everything. So they have a quick scene of Andrew on the couch, and he's passed the hell out. You know, I mean, she put it on him
and
so much
in his mouth
that she went in his drawer and took his cell phone. Question is, was he peeking at was he like checking it out, and she didn't know it, or was he truly knocked the hell out from the loving?
Mm.
But Liz takes the VP's cell phone to Huck. So I guess she didn't give it to Fitz. She gave it to Liz, and Liz took it to Huck. And now Huck is really tracking Ian.
Well, I think this women should applaud Shonda. Shonda is giving so much value to the woman power. Damn. Wars and people falling asleep and all kind of stuff.
Man. So the question is, we know where they are. So, Quinn says it's going to be the three of us, me, Jake, and Huck. She goes, I'm down. Quinn's just down for action. Yeah. She has no idea, but yeah, I'm down. Let's do it, right? And Jake says, I got a better idea, because if they do it through the legal channels, then they can get law enforcement involved.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to David Rosen and explains, and David Rosen's like, I'm going to save Olivia Pope.
Right.
That's his thing. I'm going to save Olivia Pope.
Best life ever.
Yeah.
But Tony, you can't overlook the fact that they located Olivia not in the Middle East, but in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Damn.
What the hell is going on here? Olivia is at Dunder Mifflin.
but it actually, like Jake says, it makes sense. They didn't have to go through customs. They didn't have to. I mean, they could, as long as they stayed in the country, they could basically do what they wanted under the radar, not track attention.
Exactly.
Right?
So you were right, Tony. She is being housed at the set of The Office.
So they're going in with DEA agents under the guise of a drug raid, and so they go and they raid it, and she's not there. She's not there. They're a step ahead. Who tipped them off? What happened? As it turns out, that Olivia calls Fitz, and she's on a private jet.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ian took the bait. Because she had told Ian, you could get the money that you've been promised to pull this off, or you could get ridiculous money by selling me on the open market.
She's working, but you know what? No phone call, no private jet, no shower before she gets her hair done.
Okay, that's right.
She had that hair done.
Right. Apparently, she had to call Twan.
I don't know.
Get it working.
It was too fast for Twan, Mark. She was in Harrisburg. I bet she called the Dominicans.
Yes,
the Dominican. She was out in an hour. Bam.
Don't be too rough now. Y'all roughing my hair. Don't be too rough.
My wife was like, "Where'd you get a flat iron?" Because she was back to looking like Olivia Pope.
Man.
She cleans up good, man. She cleans up really nice.
Yep.
So the episode kind of ends right there, and I don't know. I'm not surprised that Fitz chose Olivia over the lives of innocent soldiers who were going into a war that there wasn't a reason for it. Kind of reminds you of another president.
And they were losing. There were already casualties mounting up.
Yeah. But like I said, Olivia Pope has always been his kryptonite, man. But the interesting thing is Jake's on board to do whatever he can to get Olivia back, and he knows that as soon as she is free and clear, she's running into the arms of Fitz, man. That's what's going to happen.
Well, he does get some if he saves her.
he gets sloppy seconds though.
Yeah, who wants that?
Yeah.
Jake's the king of sloppy seconds.
That must be his thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So, would you bid on Olivia? Would you play in this game? I mean,
if I'm some kind of dictator or a drug cartel or something, okay, what purpose would Olivia Pope serve me? Because if I buy her, right, and the world knows that I bought her, then everything she's going to do for me is going to be null and void. So what purpose really does she serve?
But you know what? On the other hand, I don't think this favors Fitz, because you could have some dictator somewhere who pulls out $1 billion, but where Fitz Bank doesn't set up the same way,
Right.
And we don't negotiate with terrorists in America.
This is true.
That's true.
Unless you're Olivia Pope.
Yeah.
I got to say though, Kerry Washington, you know, in Hollywood, it's all about a glamour. And for her to do, you know, this show basically with no makeup on her, and she doesn't look bad without makeup. Don't get me wrong. But just for her to do that, you gotta be pretty confident, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially given HD TV and all this stuff like that. She pulled it off. She looks great without makeup, but I don't know of a lot of actresses who would actually do that, man.
Well, Tony, have you seen that check? I'll do it. That check is nice.
Yeah, I guess so.
Not the first time, though.
No, that's not the first time. No, you're right.
Django.
So like, well, that's true too. Yeah. So Olivia Pope, like I was saying, that if a drug, I mean, the only reason why I can see someone buying her is if someone who wants to get even with her.
You know? Tony,
and because I mean, I just can't see her value.
So Rowan's gonna put drop some cash on it.
And I go back to what I said at the beginning. I mean, I understand that he's mad because Olivia tried to have him taken out. I understand all that stuff like that, but only I get to mess with my daughter on this level. Nobody else gets to do that. That's how I think his ego is. So where is Eli Pope?
Well,
I just can't see him allowing anybody. I will mess with my daughter. I will punish my daughter. I will make my life difficult for my daughter, but no one else will do it. But apparently he's out. What's up?
Well, I don't think any. Yeah, I think this is just a ploy to get free. I don't think anybody's gonna buy her.
But I'm just talking about in what she's been through these last weeks and stuff. How would he? He's got to be looking for them also, maybe under the radar, because I just can't see him allowing this to happen.
I think he knows where she is. He's just letting her do her thing.
You think he's behind the whole thing?
No, I think he knows where she is. I think he's all knowing. He knows where we are. He's watching us right now.
And as we see in next week's previews, man, Mama Pope is back.
So here's what happens. You have, Olivia is the bait. Everybody's looking for her.
Yeah.
This easily, to me, has that Mexican standoff look or that convergence. Everybody arrives at the same time to try to save her. So then she's going to choose, who does she go with?
Right.
She go with her dad. Is her mom working with her dad to team up? Do you go with Fitz because the Marines are going to be there or whatever? Or is it Jake?
Well, Jake was actually the boots on the ground, right? He actually was, physically looking for her. He was on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So he would be the brave one, wouldn't he? He literally put himself in danger.
It's true. Will boots on the ground lead to pants on the ground?
Will boots on the ground lead to knocking boots?
We'll find out.
We'll find out next time.
We'll find out.
These questions and more will be answered.
Tell me what I missed, man.
I think you did an excellent job as usual, Tony.
Well,
there was one point when Olivia said something and I had to laugh because she was when she was hyping Ian up and she kind of slipped into her Olivia talk and I was like, "You go ahead, girl." She says, it was a little affected, if I or Paul, whatever she does. But I was like, okay, I see you.
Yeah. She was getting her swag back.
Back. Even with stank on her, she was still had swag.
Stank on you.
So that's the Where's the Black Lady episode of Scandal. Appreciate you watching. If you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it, tell people that we're still three guys sitting over here talking about Scandal. It would be much appreciated. If you know any of the cast members, ask them to watch it for us. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing stuff out there, man.
That's right.
Trying to get some traction, baby. That's what
Make it happen, Tony.
Subscribe.
That's it right there. So thanks for watching Men on Scandal in Washington.
I got one thing, Tony, for you. So my girl, Where's the Black Lady? That's what's her name? The actress' name?
Marla Gibbs.
Marla Gibbs, a little known trivia fact. We shared the same when I was born in Detroit, and I attended the same babysitter that her kids attended in Detroit.
Really?
So my mother, young Jackie Johnson, would drop off her only son to the babysitter, Miss Atkins, and Marla's kids were also there.
They were in the house?
Yep. And ironically, Tony, in another twist, shout out to Sandy in St. Louis. Sandy, you know Sandy, the car from Asante Motors. Sandy had a movie made about her life and became close to their family because Marla was in the movie. So
okay,
a little bit of St. Louis tie in there for you also.
And a lot of people don't know that when Mark was at the babysitter with the kids, they wrote the theme to 227.
No place like no place something, no place. And a little known fact, Miss Atkins, the babysitter, told me as a 3-year-old not to call my mother mommy, to call her mommy. And my mom came home and said, "Oh hell no." Thank you very much.
What was she thinking about?
You can call me mama. Oh hell no, you ain't. Thank you very much.
I know that was a stern talking to. That look.
Yes.
Look, Larry.
Yeah.
Not having that.
That's right.
You know I'm your mother.
You ripped me to shreds, damn it. I'm your mama.
Look at this. Look at what you did to me.
Oh my goodness. I wish I could have seen that conversation with your mother and that woman.
Yes,
that's the one I want to see.
Y'all know my mama, so you know it was not for you.
Yeah,
I know
man.
she went in. I know she went in. Oh my.
Don't get chesty with me. In Washington, D.C., they're one of a kind. Mark Clark and Tony Scott in St. Louis. I mean, Mark Clark and Troy Johnson in St. Louis.
You've been mistaken.
I'm Tony Scott, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
And hey, watch on Men on Everything, too.
That would be great. We have that also, Men on Everything. Check it out at talking360.com.